Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I will be creating a really fun project called Poke Search. So like Google search, you can like search news and current events, and it will show you what the current events are, kind of like a news. I will try and create something like a search engine for a Pokemon. So I'm going to be using the Pokemon Go API. It's by Rapid API. You can check it out. Just search for Pokemon Go API, Rapid API. You will get it. It's actually a pretty popular API, as you can see over here. And we will first grab all of the data of the Pokemon API, and then we will pass the data according to a user input, and we will show. So literally what I've done is I've gone over there, I have signed in and all of that, gone over here and just went to Python, and you can say how you want to do it. Now I chose a request since it is the best way, and then I simply just pasted it. Now currently, if you will see that if I will just run this program, we will get the list of the Pokemons. Now I actually not created this project before, I'm doing it right now. So as you can see, we get this kind of like this list, JSON list. Now printing it out directly is not the best way. So what I will do is I will first store it in a JSON format, so then we can pass it, because otherwise we cannot pass anything. So I will type out JSON-ated response is equals to response.json. You don't need to import the JSON library to just perform this one task. Now that we have converted it into a JSON-ated response, the response will be looking really similar, probably the same, but now we will be able to pass it. So actually, let me just show you something. So even if I print out the JSON-ated response over here, and I will simply run this program, you will see that the response will be pretty similar. As you can see, it is literally the same thing, but it's a little bit, I would say, difficult to get. Okay, now I think my Visual Studio Code has stopped to respond for some reason, because it's a huge thing. I think I'll have to force quit it. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm just going to force quit Visual Studio Code. Alright, there we go. I will actually be using Sublime, I think, because looks like my VS Code kind of is freaking out if I'm using such a version. Let me actually get rid of some of these things over here, maybe it will be a bit better. So now we will be using Sublime Text. So let me actually open it up. There we go. So yeah, now let me actually open up the folder. I have just stored it on the desktop, so it will be pretty simple to do. So desktop and Poke Search. Now so this is a test.py file. We have written this much. Now currently I'm not going to be keeping the JSON-ated response, because as you can see what happens. So now what we will do is, just for now, let's just print out the first 30 elements, just the names of the Pokemons. So what we can do is, for I in range, you can loop over it, and we can say 30 for now. Then what we can say is, we want to print the JSON-ated response. Now we obviously don't want to print out the JSON-ated response 30 times. That will just be really stupid. What we want to do is, we want to take the ith element, which will be incrementing continuously. So the ith element, and then we want to grab specifically the Pokemon's name from the ith element. So now what this line of code that we have written will do, it will, for every single value of I, it will grab the Pokemon name and it will print it out for us. So if I will run this Python file, you will see that we will get the first 30 Pokemon names popping up like this. Now I can obviously make it more, but you have to stay aware of one thing, that the number of Pokemon names that you are printing out should not be, I would say, kind of like the number of Pokemon names that you print out, it should not be like more than the number of columns. So I think that's something that you need to take care about. So yeah, so for now I'll just clear this out. So as you can see, we have kind of something. So now what we need to do is actually implement it. But as you can see, we are currently going to be facing a problem. Currently what we are basically doing is we are just taking the data and we are just parsing it and printing it out. We haven't really implemented any functionality where we can actually input a Pokemon name and do all of the things. So let's try it out. Maybe, I hope it works. So Pokemon underscore name is equals to input, enter the name of the Pokemon. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just going to be commenting this line of code out. And now, alright, so now what do we want to do? So we want to check the Pokemon name in the JSON-ated response. And if we have the Pokemon name in a response, then basically we want to show the stats of the Pokemon. And if there's an image, then even the image. So that's what we want to do. Alright, so I think what we can do is we can kind of like implement it in a function, and what we can say is that we can take in the text of the input, and then we can and then what we can do is we can simply just show it. So I think that's what we will do. Let's just try it out. Alright, so let's try it out. So what do we want to do? So if one thing that I need to try out if it works or not, I think this won't work. I will comment this out. Can you get the length of a JSON-ated response? That's something that I need to know. And instead of printing that, I'm just going to be parse, because otherwise it can get a little bit memory heavy. So that's why. Alright, we can. That's pretty good. I think I will just check if it is working by printing out the value of I. And let's just get the length. Okay, so we have 1282 columns in our entire API, as you can see over here. So I will just copy this in JSON-ated response. Alright, so now I will get rid of it and I will just do that. Now, so what do we want to do is currently we first uncomment this. So what we do is for I in range in the JSON-ated response, if Pokemon name is in JSON-ated response I Pokemon name, then we want to show everything of the JSON-ated response with the Pokemon name. So what I will do is, it looks like, I think it's a bit complicated. Let's try it out. So what I will do is just say JSON, actually it should be below the JSON-ated response, Poke name in response is equals to basically this thing. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll copy that and paste it over here. So here what we have done is we have basically told that we want to grab the Pokemon name, but there is a problem, because in the JSON-ated response, which index do we want to use? That's something, right? So over here, what I think we can do as I think what I can do is literally, instead of declaring it as a variable over here, what I can do is for I in range or the len of the JSON-ated response that we have, and then what I can do is if Pokemon name is equals to, I think we will have to and close it in a string. I'm not sure if the Pokemon name is equals to the JSON-nated response I Pokemon name. We can print it is, else we can print, actually we can just go past. So there we go. So now what I will do is basically just clear this. Let's go Python, actually, yeah. Now let me actually get myself a Pokemon which I know is already in the Pokemon's list, because that's kind of important. Alright, so I'll drop down this list. Okay, we know that Bulbasaur is in the list. Okay, so Bulbasaur, it is. Okay, that is actually working. So currently we are just printing it is, but we know that it is there, right? So that's pretty cool. So now what we want to do is, if we know that it is there, we want to print out where it starts. So what I can do is say print the JSON-nated response I, and because now you need to say I, because otherwise it will print out the 0th element and not the ith element. And what do we want to print out? So currently let's just print out the base attack and the base defense. Base attack, and actually for now let's just print out the base attack, and I will store it in a variable base underscore attack. And what I will do is print as an F string the base attack of the Pokemon is the base attack. Now if you don't know, this is a fancy way of doing, it's called an F string. And now let me just run this file, and let us just grab the name Bulbasaur again. The base attack of Bulbasaur is 118, and what I will do is, just after printing it once, I am just going to break out of the loop, because I don't want it to be printing out that few times. I think this should work. Otherwise we will see it's okay. Yeah, there we go, it's awesome. So there we go, it prints out the base attack of the Pokemon is 180. So we have kind of gotten our, I would say, searching part in place. It was a little bit tricky to, think how we can do that, but we have kind of gotten a good way in which we can do this. Now another really good improvement would be to store this inside of a variable, because currently it is not the best. So I think I'm going to try it out over here. So Poke name in response is equals to literally this slew of code that we have written. So now what we can simply do is, if this the thing that we had is equals to the Poke name in res, then what we can also do, the base attack of the Pokemon, I can do that, Poke name in res is that, and now I think it should be working. I'm not sure. If I can copy that and run it again. The base attack of the Pokemon Bulbasaur is 180. Now let's try again some other Pokemon. Let's see if it even works with some other Pokemon. That's actually something that we need to do. So let me run this, and let's just search for Pikachu. I think that's how you search Pikachu. There we go. The base attack, I think the base attack of both was the same. Let me actually try it out. I think if that's the case, then okay, no, it's not the same. There we go. So as you can see, currently the Bulbasaur is stronger than a Pikachu. I think some Pokemon genius would be knowing that. I don't know. Let's so alright. So we have gotten our, I would say, logic in place, and that's really cool. Now we basically just need to design a website out of it. The reason why I really just design the website is, one, develop my front end and back end skills, and two, it just, it's just a bit more rewarding than a command line terminal based app. That's why. So I will obviously be using Flask. I don't really know how Django works. So from Flask, I will import Flask request render template, and we will obviously also be needing requests. You cannot forget using requests, because even in test.py, as you can see, we have imported requests. So set up the app is equals to, as we know, Flask underscore name underscore, and go ahead and run the app. So if the underscore name is equals to this, we can just go app.run, and we can just say debug equals to true. I was actually using kite, as you can see over here, for my auto completions, so that's why. And I don't want to see any documentation of kite. Okay, so now we can make the main home screen. Making the home page. So we can just say define home. So we can define it as a function. We want to return a render template, and I have this index.html file all over here, index.html, and now we can just route it. So at app.route to slash. Alright, awesome. Now over here, I think this will not work. Yeah, I hate it when it does not. Now Sublime auto completion is not very good. I have tried it out. I am not a big fan of it. As you can see, we have to like start it, only then it works. So let's just name it as Poki search. As you can see, it's kind of like a Pokemon search engine, so it's really cool, like for the Pokemon fanboys, and so alright, let's just add a center tag. I'm not much of a designer. We will do some CSS, but later on, not right now. And slash h1, and let's just call it Poki search. Alright, there we go. And now what I am going to do is just go python 3 main.py, and I will just run it, and go up to my Google Chrome, paste the URL, and we should see Poki search popping up. Awesome. So now now that we have Poki search popping up, let's search for Pikachu images. So I will search for Pikachu images. Like I think he's one of the most famous Pokemon, so let's just use his images. So let's just use this one. I like, if the image is too big, we will scale it down to some CSS styling. So copy the image address. We will not save it because I have some issues where the image does not show up if it's in local memory, so that's why. And okay, that's weird. Okay, I think it's not a closing tag. Reload the page. Okay, as I told you, it is a really large image. A class main image, and what I can do is just go over here, open up a style tag. So where we can just type some CSS real quick. I will not recommend you do this in a large project, but since it's a tiny small project, we can do it. 200 pixels and the width of 200 pixels. Alright, reload the page, and there we go. Poki search. and we get the Pikachu. Alright, and one last thing, I'm just going to create this the class of body, and we will also just style the body a little bit, not that much obviously. Now I will not be having some gradient backgrounds because it does not look that good. Okay, so what do you want to style? I'm just going to be giving it the font family of sans serif. I think it looks good, sans serif, and reload the page and we get Poke search in sans serif. Okay, there we go. So now what we want is an input tag. So actually first a form tag with the method of post, and also in the main notepad file I forgot to do that, but we need to give it the methods, which is a list of methods will be get and a post request, because otherwise our app will actually fail, because we will be sending a post request, but in the backend we will not have said that a post request is a valid one, so it can fail. Reload the page and we get this input tag. Now obviously we will be wanting some line breaks in between. I think there will be a better way in doing this, but I don't know, I'm not much of a HTML guy, so yeah. Oh, come on, why doesn't this work? Okay, so class of main INP and placeholder of enter Pokemon name. Awesome. So we get enter Pokemon name popping up. We can enter the Pokemon name. Awesome. So over here I can copy the class name and we can just style it a bit. So how do we want to go out doing this? We can give it obviously we can give it a width of like 40%, and we will get this kind of big input, and we can increase its height a little bit, like 18 pixels, something like that. No, 23 pixels, something like that. Actually it's still a little bit smaller. So alright, so we have this input tag and Poke search popping up. Awesome. And also another good thing is that even if we are selecting the image, it is showing up as an image, because otherwise sometimes what happens is that we will be able to put it over there and search it on the web, as you know, that's something that happens sometimes. Alright, so now what we want to do basically is also give the input a name. So name, now the name will be the thing that will actually be visible. So Poke name INP, Poke name INP, that's what we will be naming it. And now what I will do is go to my home screen and just say if request dot method equals to a post request. So if we send a post request to our HTML, what I will do is I'll just print out request dot form. So now if we add something like test and I head on to my terminal, okay, looks like there's some issue. ADS. Let's have a look. Alright, there we go. We get Poke name INP and ADS. So the thing that we had added in our input. So now what we can do, okay, I don't want my VS Code right now. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to store this and then we want to grab the Pokemon input. So what I will do is store it in a variable called web page and make it equal to request.form, and then what we can say is we can say something like Pokemon underscore name. If you don't know why I named it Pokemon name, is because in my test.py, as you can see, we are named that thing also Pokemon name. So the Pokemon name will be a string of web page and out of that web page what we want to grab is the Pokemon name INP, and then what I will do is simply print out Pokemon name and reload the page, and I will just add something like a Bulbasaur. I hope my spelling is correct. And we get Bulbasaur popping up. Alright, that is pretty good. So we have our thing all set up. Now all we need to do is we just need to take our entire API, and instead of putting it into this command line application, we just need to inject it into this website. Alright, it's actually more than simple. It's actually dead simple. All we do is we just copy this thing, paste it, and then I can tab this over here, and then I will get rid of this. Alright, also we will define this as a global variable. Alright, and it should be a blank string, and then we can access it in the function. So global Pokemon name, and I think I will also need to get rid of this string, since we have already said that the thing should be a string, so we get rid of that. Alright, good. Alright, so currently we won't obviously see that the stats of the Pokemon appear over here. Right now we will see that the Pokemon attack will appear over here, but let's at least try it out. So I will just type out Pikachu, click on enter. Now I think it should say, okay, looks like it did not. Let me say Pikachu with a capital, Pikachu. Alright, the base attack of the Pokemon Pikachu is 112. Now the reason why this isn't working is because it's just because of the API. The API has like the way it is, and like usually APIs, I think they have like 2 alternatives for each thing. Let me actually have a look. Bulbasaur. Okay, so looks like they are like really aware of the capitalizations and stuff. It's okay. So it's okay, like obviously everyone will start the things with a capital name. So let's have Charizard. I think I will actually, let's say Kenga. Now I'm pretty sure I'm not spelling the name correctly. The base is 261. Okay. Mew, I think that's a Pokemon name. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. So the Pokemon search is working correctly. Now we just need to display it in the thing. It's actually also really simple. I will go down below the form, okay, and I will add a few line breaks, and I will add a p tag, and I will just have some things over here. Base, let's go attack, and I will have this the base attack of the Pokemon is, and now what I will do is I will copy that, and in the return statement that we have, we can just say that the base attack, and I will take it and just do that, make it a blank string, copy that and make it a global. So the base attack is equal to the base attack as we know it. Okay, that was, there we go. So now if I have something like Gengar, and I click on it. Okay, look like there will be some issue. Invalid syntax. Oh, now I think we got it working again. So now if I just reload the page, it should be working. So now what I will do again is type out KNR and click on return, and we should be getting the base attack, which apparently we are not. Maybe there's an error. Okay, apparently we are not getting the base attack. Just a second, let me actually get rid of this and get rid of this. Maybe it will work now. Okay, looks like there's an issue. I think what I need to do is I need to get rid of this. I think that can be a thing. Alright, there we go. So I think that was the issue. We cannot do that. Okay. So now I'll just see that and see if it still works. So let's have our new on return and 210. Now we need to have like the attack, the defense, and those things. That's what we will be doing now. Just polishing it and showing all of the other data. So you can see it's such a fun project. We are able to make such fun things with Python. Alright, so what do we want to do now? First of all, the base of the Pokemon is alright, let's see. The base attack of the Pokemon is I think what I can do is also have the Pokemon name in there, but it's okay. So the base attack of the Pokemon is 210, and what I will also have is I think HR. I'll just make it small just so it looks consistent and good. So now we have this thing, we have this HR tag, and now we will have another HR after this. So we'll have like base attack, base defense, and how much data do we have over here? Base defense, base stamina, and Pokemon. Only the base attack, base defense, and the base stamina. Alright, let's just do it very quickly. It's actually really quick. So we just go base underscore defense. Now if you are thinking why am I doing it like this, like having these things and then again referring them as globals, as you know globals are not a good practice, but the reason why we are doing this is because there is actually a problem. If you actually are going to just do it in this way, the thing is that since all of this are going to be in an if statement and then referred outside the statement in this way, it will throw you an error. So that's why. So base defense, base attack, and base stamina. So then what we can do is we can just take these two things, we can copy them, we can just put in right there. Awesome. And now what I will do is currently we are just grabbing the Pokemon name and base attack. So we will just go base underscore defense is equals to JSON-ated response I, and instead of base attack we will have base defense, and then we will have another thing base underscore stamina is equals to JSON-ated response I base stamina. I think that is the thing. There we go. Perfect. And now what I will do is go here and I will have the base defense of the Pokemon is base underscore defense, and HR after that, and I will just say the base stamina of the Pokemon is I think we should add a colon over here, is equals to obviously the base underscore stamina. Alright, so now what I will do is basically just add the base defense and the base stamina over here. So base defense is equals to the base defense, and again base, okay, that is an issue, and base stamina is equals to base stamina. Alright, head on to Pokesearch, reload the page. It takes some time obviously. Okay, base defense. Where is the key error? Okay, I think I will have spelled defense incorrectly, so yeah, I spelled it with a C. That was my bad. Do that. And also I think I would have spelled it over here incorrectly. Base defense. Alright, there we go. Reload the page, and we should get our Pokemon thing popping up over here. So HR, just do that and reload the page again. We get this. Now what we could do is we can say something like Pokemon underscore name. I think this won't work. I am just trying it out since it's fun, and I will just do it over here. Do that here. And I will just copy this thing, Pokemon name, and I will add it over here. Pokemon name is equals to, and Pokemon name in res, and I will take it here, put it here, and do that, and copy this thing, paste it here, do that. I hope this works. There we go, it's actually working. Yes, yeah. Alright, one last like UI thing, obviously nothing backend. We want to like show like one thing, so I'll just say H3 results. It just will look good. And actually it should not be, the HR tag should be after it actually. So I'll do that. Now I obviously need to unindent it now. Let's just call it, search results. Will look good. Reload the page. And there we go. Search results. Let's try out some other things. Pikachu. The base attack of Pikachu is 1112, the base defense of Pikachu is 96, and the base stamina of the Pokemon Pikachu is 111. Awesome. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this project. It was really fun coding this out. I really like the project. It's really fun, as you can see. Definitely you can play around with the project, and yeah, you can make it a lot better. What you can also do is add fights where it will draw a random Pokemon, and then you can choose the attacks and defenses. It's actually really simple. I was thinking of adding it in this video, but yeah, looking at the time, I probably won't. I don't want like a huge video, and I think this is a really good starting point, and I probably will add a few features to it, and it's my challenge. Even you can try it out. So I've given you this really cool bare bones website, and try adding new features. I'll add a home page to it. uh, be called like Poke homepage, but the whole concept of this website was like a Pokemon search engine, but we can expand on the idea and make it like an entire Pokemon fandom website. It's really a good idea. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's a really fun one, and the best thing was that I actually coded along with you. I haven't really coded this project, I just had this idea and I executed it. So yeah, so this video also taught you a lot of things. It taught you about APIs, because till now all of the videos that I have made, they all kind of like used the APIs that were Python APIs, so Python packages, but this one actually required like this external API. If you want to see some other videos on APIs and other things, you can definitely comment down below and I will surely consider it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was really fun, I loved it. So that's it for today, guys. And I will see you in another YouTube